Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Manigan's Movie Music. That's right, with me, of course, Reese Manigan. And I hope you guys have had a really good week, as I say every week. And the weather has really held out this week. We have been feeling the heat, and my God, has it been hot this week. Whew, so I hope you guys have stayed safe in the sun, and I hope you guys haven't been burned too much this week. So there you go. But anyway, today I have got a very, very special guest joining me very soon. I'll be introducing to her very soon. And also there'll be updates on some movie news. But also at last, guess what? I've actually got a movie review today. Yay! That's right. An actual movie review. At last, a new film. Finally, I can review it, and I cannot wait. It is, of course, going to be 28 years later, which I'll be reviewing. Spoiler free, of course. Don't panic. I'm not going to spoil this one, so don't worry about that. So that's what's coming up today, guys. I hope you're looking forward to it. So let's kick off with a very feel-good, fun track. This one's from David Newman, War of the Roses. That was, of course, David Newman, the War of the Roses main title sequence. Absolutely love that tune. It makes me feel quite good. It's such an uplifting little beat there. And if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely strongly recommend it. Okay, we are now going to introduce my very special guest today. I've been looking forward to talking to this guest for a very long time, and she finally said yes to coming on my show. So I feel very special tonight and very honoured that she's actually here. She's live from LA, so she's staying up in the middle of the night to do this, and I'm very honoured. She's only going to be on the show for 1 hour today, guys, but that 1 hour is going to be so worth it because we are talking to the one and only, the very talented, the super duper, the very beautiful Ruth Costanzo.
Hi.
Hello, Ruth. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for coming on the show and staying up very late in LA. As I said before, you're not the only person from LA who's managed to stay up really late to be on this show. So every time I get an American or someone from America to stay up late to be on this show, I just feel really honoured about that. So thank you so much for your time, for being on the show, and yeah, thank you for just being here.
Thank you. I was looking forward to meeting you finally and being in this show.
Amazing. Right, so Ruth, you're an actress, a singer, and a performer. I've seen what you do. It is absolutely fantastic what you have done and what you do. So let's jump back right at the beginning if we can. When did all this journey of becoming an actress or a singer begin?
Okay. I'll try to make it short.
No. Make it as long as you want.
Oh, no, but it started back in 1992. No, I'm kidding.
That's actually the year I was born.
Yeah. Oh, you were born?
I was born in 1992.
We're the same age.
Hey, woo, 90s babies. There you go. Okay, sorry. So back in 1992, yes. The very special year.
Yes. And so I can say that I studied music since I was little. So it actually started back then. But then I feel like I've always thought that that you cannot, how can I say this? I used to think that art was always a hobby.
Yeah.
So I thought of dedicating my life completely to art, like including, I say art, but including music and acting and everything that is creating art. So I grew up with the idea of studying a profession and becoming a professional person, like with a college title, that I thought like more in the classic. I don't know if I'm using the correct words.
No, I understand what you're saying, yeah.
So I ended up studying law in Argentina. I grew up in Italy and then I moved to Argentina because my parents are Argentine. And I moved to Argentina when I was 17 and I went to law school. And I was convinced that was my path, that was what I was meant to be. And I actually enjoyed it. And I feel, I'm a Gemini, so I feel that I actually have both things, the art and the professional, serious personality. So it's not that I did wrong. It's not that I chose wrong. I just chose it for that moment of my life, and I thought, I was convinced convinced that I was going to be a lawyer, but then when I graduated, I decided that I didn't. So I changed path. But when I was in law school in my second year, I got a job and I started saving some money, and I was able to pay myself a dubbing course, and I think that was my door. So I studied dubbing, and I loved it. And I think I entered the acting life from there. I didn't study acting at the beginning, but I studied dubbing, which is voice acting. So you still have the acting, but you have the voice training. And I loved it, and I started doing dubbing back in 2018. And I did some anime characters, and then I finished law school. I graduated, and then I moved to LA with the idea of continuing my voice acting career. And then, long story short, I got in the voice acting industry here in LA, and then I was like, hey, I'm in LA, I'm in Hollywood, why not just going on camera? So I took acting classes, and so now I can say I'm an actress. I love film acting, not only voice acting. And then last year I was in a short film, and I felt inspired to write a song, and I wrote a song, and I realized that I'm able to do that. So it came out very pretty, but I didn't release it yet. So it's not, I can't say like, okay, go listen to it somewhere because it's not out. But that was my first song. And after that, I wrote another one this year. So I can say that this year I'm getting more into music, which it's always been with me, but I never considered it like something serious. But now it's becoming serious. So I can say that this year I got it more into music, and
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you've literally gone from voice actor to actress to singer. What would you say out of those three? I know you love doing those three, but do you have a personal favourite out of the three?
A favorite what?
So you do voice acting, you do acting, as in front of the camera as well, and you do singing. So what I'm saying is, out of those three things, do you have a personal favourite?
I don't think I can choose. No, because the three of them are, every time that I'm doing one of those, I love it with all myself, and I'm like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And then, I don't know, let's say that I was filming, I was on set, and I loved it, and then it ends, and then, I don't know, the following week, I get to do a voiceover, or I get to get in the studio for dubbing, and I'm like, this is my place in the world, and I love it. And then, I don't know, I get to go up on stage and sing, and I say, oh, this is what I want to do. Or I feel inspired and I'm writing something, or I'm playing the piano and I'm like, oh, no, this is what I want to do. So every time I feel that's what I want to do forever, but I feel they're on the same level, the three of them.
Okay, fair enough. So it's funny you should say that, because in terms of like choosing paths, that's what happened with me personally as well. Because originally I wanted to become a wildlife presenter. And because I'm a huge animal lover, and also I love David Attenborough. I'm sure you must have heard of him. A very biggest, most popular wildlife presenter in the world, and I wanted to be him. But then, as the paths turned for me, I turned from wildlife presenter to, I love how they made those documentaries, like the camera work and the filming and stuff. So then I wanted to film it. So then I went from cameraman, and then I went from writer, because I was writing my own narration, and then I started writing scripts. And then it went from writing to animation, because I started drawing a lot. And then it went from animation to live action film. So for me, those were my steps. So it's funny that when you said, I started doing voice acting. Now I'm doing acting in front of the camera. Now I'm doing singing. It was like, wow, that was like from me, wildlife presenting, to filming, to writing, to editing, to directing. So it was so weird how the steps kind of went from there to there. So yeah, when you mentioned that, that's what kind of came back to me. So not only were we born in the same year, we seem to have the same ideas of steps of where to take our careers.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel you always have to be open to changing paths. Because sometimes you follow something and maybe it doesn't happen, and it's good to persist. But at some point, if another door opens, you have to be open to go there and see where it takes you. And maybe you find yourself following a new dream that you never thought of, and that makes you happy too. So I learned that with all these path changes lately.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, with me, I mean, I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. But then when I finally got my certificate award for my very first short film, that's when I said, right, this is what I want to do. That's 100%, because it was just the fact that, you know, I made this very first short film and people loved it, which was a surprise because I thought it was going to turn out to be absolutely rubbish. And I have a very different sense of humor compared to loads of people. But apparently they thought, wow, this is actually really good. It deserves 2 certificate awards. And it became number 2 out of 270 films, which was a huge bonus. So I was like, yeah, I think that's enough success for me to say, yeah, I'm going to do it. So it's just, yeah, so that's when you know that when you've hit that mark and people love that, you're like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and then you're like, if I must have been doing something right. Because if people like it and if people react to that, you're like, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad then. Okay, I'm going to continue doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And since I have. And that's what I was also going to say to you, because Ruth, you are on Manigan's Movie Music, as I say to every guest. So this is a very film-heavy show, as we know. So you have come at a very special time because it's my 20th anniversary. And to have you on the show is a huge honour, as I've said before. So thank you again. So I'm going to ask you that I ask every guest, do you have a particular favourite movie genre?
Musicals.
Oh, but do you know what? I love that you answered that straight on. That because normally every guest I've had have gone, right, let me think. I do like this, but you just went musicals, boss, right there, bang, straight on. That is amazing. Straight answer, no doubts there. Brilliant. That is what I need to see. Well done, Ruth. Top marks for that. There you go. Well done. Okay, musicals. That's okay. Brilliant. So. Here's the next. Obviously, the questions are going to keep on coming. So, any particular favourite musical films, or do you have a top 3, or like what's your particular favourite ones?
Okay. Well, lately I just rewatched. It might sound too obvious, but I really love it, and I think it's a masterpiece. I rewatched Wicked, the movie. I love the show, the Broadway show. I personally I didn't have the luck to see the original cast, but I did see I saw the Broadway show in New York, and I loved it. Not the original cast though, but it was still amazing. And now they did the movie, and honestly, I love Ariana Grande, and I didn't know Cynthia Erivo, and they are amazing. The movie blew my mind. It's not just because it's very popular and commercial. They did a lot of marketing for this movie, but I think, have you watched it?
No. Because the reasons is unfortunately those type of films aren't really on my to-do watch list. And plus, I don't want to sound cruel, but Ariana Grande kind of annoys me. Not in a horrible way. It's just she's everywhere kind of thing. Like everywhere you turn, she's on a poster. She's in everywhere you go, and it's like, look, give the girl a break, yeah? We know who she is. There's other people in the world. She's not the only person. There's other singers. There's other actors, And sometimes when you get that, it's like, so sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss. But look, I'm not judging. If people love that sort of thing, that's great. And I'm glad you love the movie. But it's not really my movie. But no, that's fine. That's great that you liked it.
I think it's just very, very full of great talent.
Yeah.
And what you say about Ariana Grande, I believe she is extremely talented.
Yeah.
And her a lot for for her talent, and I mean her personality too. I like her, but the movie is very well done, and I really enjoy watching it. And the songs, oh, I love it. So I've been watching just a couple days ago. I rewatched it, and then there's another musical that I really like, which is Waitress.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
That's Sarah Bareilles, you know, the singer, pianist, composer.
Yeah,
Sarah
yeah.
Bareilles.
Yeah.
She wrote the music for this one, and it's great too. I love the music, and yeah. So that would be my second favorite. And if I have to think of a third one, I should think about it.
That's fine. I tell you what, let's take a little break now because I think we spoke a bit enough. So we'll play another track. You can think about your third favourite along the way. And guys, please stay tuned because coming up, I'll be reviewing as well 28 years later. And also, we need to talk about, even though we haven't watched it just yet, the new Squid Game has been released. So we'll definitely have to be talking about that and my expectations about that series. But in the meantime, let's take a little break. And let's play some tracks just so we can have a bit of a breather. You're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio. Absolutely love that one. Robert Falk, could get his name right then. Police Academy theme, number 3 on Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and my special guest today,
Ruth.
Come on, say your full name. I want to hear it again.
Oh, Ruth Costanzo.
There we go. Love it. Yes, me and Ruth are on the show today. And I think Ruth is finally relaxed now, enjoying the show. Now she knows it's not as scary as it looks, you know, because everybody gets a bit nervous when they come on the show. But honestly, this is all about positive vibes, positive feel-good moments, networking, making friends. That's what it's all about. And that's what we need in this world a lot more. But anyway, Ruth, how are you there in LA at the moment?
I'm good. The weather is nice.
Yeah, same over here in the UK.
It's very chill. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah, I know. Ruth is staying up in the middle of the night to be on this show, which I cannot be more honoured about because I've had this before with some people from LA who have come and stayed up to be on my show. So that just amazes me that they do that. So Ruth, again, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. Okay, so did you think about your third favourite musical?
I did.
Okay, so what's the answer?
So it's a movie. They
Obviously.
didn't do a Broadway show, but it's La La Land. I love it.
There we go, La La Land. Okay, I have seen La La Land, but there's a problem. I can't watch it again because it makes me cry.
Oh, absolutely. I cry every time. But I love this.
It's like the ending just gets me, and I can't watch it. Like what I do is I just watch it before that ending comes out. But no, that ending just got me, and I was just like, no, never watching it again because I can't watch films that depress me too much. It's just something that, you know, why would you want that to happen? Do you know what I mean? But I mean, it was a good film. Don't get me wrong. I love what they've done with it, and you know, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, they are fantastic together. They've worked together on quite a few projects, and you can tell there's really good chemistry between them. But that ending, I can never watch again.
I know, but it's true. It's true life. That's what happens. No, there's not always a happy ending.
Yeah. And I admire what they've done with it, but I personally don't want to watch it again. It's just too sad. I can't really be near that, so I have to kind of, you know. But anyway, but that's good. La La Land, that's a good choice. I have seen that one, so fair dues. Right, just very quickly, I'm going to be reviewing 28 years later. Now, the reason I want to do it now is because I haven't done a movie review in ages. But now, I think people want to know what 28 years later is. Oh, sorry, before I do, shout out to Puyin, who's listening to the show. Hello, Puyin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're well, and I hope you enjoy the show. So thank you very much. Right, okay. So, 28 years later. Now, first of all, Ruth, are you familiar with the 28 days, 28 weeks films before I go ahead with this review?
No, I'm not.
Okay, don't worry about it. It's fine. This is spoiler free anyway, so don't panic. Okay. Okay, no worries. Right, so 28 years later is technically the third film of the 28 Days franchise, I guess you could say, because it started off with 28 days. I mean, I just would call them the 28 movies. I mean, because it's 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years. But it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call them, it's fine. But it's basically the 28 Days franchise. So this is the third film that they finally released, although it's not been 28 years. It's actually been 23 years, but I'm not going to be accurate about that. Anyway, so 28 years is been a long-awaited sequel for 28 Days for a long time. Now, the 28 franchise is weird for me. Like, I remember the films, and luckily I caught up on the first two just recently, because I ain't watched the first two in a long time. So I actually watched the first two just to catch up and remember, say, okay, what happened in the first? Oh yeah. So now I caught up and everything, but there was a slight thing. The first film I don't remember too much of, and watching it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty decent movie, and I like it. But when 27 Weeks I watched again, because again I didn't remember any of it. It literally blanked out of my mind. I was like, I don't remember 27 Weeks being this good. So it really got into me. And to be honest, I think, in my opinion, 27 Weeks is actually more better than 28 Days. Let me explain before everyone kicks off and has a go at me. Reasons being is because 28, sorry. Why did I say 27? 28, ignore me. Look, it's been a very busy week, all right? Ignore me. 28 Weeks has more suspense. There's a bit more stuff going on. The characters are a bit more gripping. Like, you kind of feel more for these characters, and a bit more in 28 weeks. I don't know why 27 keeps coming into my head. Is there a 27 thing going on? Anyway, the second one got me more than the first one. The first one's really good. Don't get me wrong. I love the first movie. But the second one kind of gripped me a bit more. And there was a lot more suspense, a lot more unsettling things. And also the second one scared me a lot more. I don't know why. The second one really did get to me. There was a lot more unsettling moments. But what these films do, before I jump into the third one, is each film goes in a direction that you don't expect it to go in. And you kind of think, oh, this is happening, this is going to happen. And it doesn't. It really does go into different directions. Like the first film, instantly, if you remember, it turns into a zombie film, a drama, survival, road trip, then it's like a war movie. So there's loads of different elements that go on to the 28 days. 28 Weeks stays as this sort of sci-fi zombie horror survival movie that stays to its genre, and you kind of go along with all the action. And plus, 28 Weeks has a lot more adrenaline compared to 28 Days. Like 28 Days is more of a slow burn, but 28 Weeks is more boom, 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 boom. This goes on. The adrenaline really gets to you, and you just go along for the ride. Now, 28 years, the results. Spoiler free, of course. So, by the way, you don't really have to watch 28 Days or 28 Weeks to watch the third film, because it kind of starts a bit fresh, but at the same time, it's still in that universe. So, 28 years, set years after 28 Days, obviously. It's basically these characters on an island that have survived during this pandemic of the rage virus, what it's called. And there are some infected people in the mainland. But what they've done with this one is, unlike the first two, which was set in London, the third film is just set on an island in Europe. We don't know where. It could be Scotland, Ireland, somewhere in England. We don't know. It doesn't really specifically say, but it's definitely in Europe, and it's set on an island, and it's led up to one of the countries. Obviously, it's got to be UK, surely, but we don't really care where it is. It's just set in the Highlands in Europe. Beautiful location. So there's no city, there's no village, there's no town. It's literally forest, fields, grass, meadows, houses. It's very open space. The film is very suspenseful, very thrilling, and the performers and every film has a great cast. This cast, we got Ray Fiennes, Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, all amazing. But really, who steals the show is Sebastian Smith, who plays Spike the Kid. He is amazing in this movie. He literally, out of all the child performances I've seen this year, along with adolescents, his performance in 28 years, absolutely award-winning. So he better be nominated this year because he was absolutely fantastic. The film itself, really, really good. Very fun, very thrilling. But this is the problem. People are nowadays comparing it to the first two. Do not compare it. Watch it as its own film. Look at it as its own film. Don't compare it to the first two. See it as its own movie that exists on its own, and you'll definitely have a good time with it. It was absolutely suspenseful and thrilling. Fantastic performances. And I recommend people definitely go and check it out. If you're a horror fan, if you're a zombie movie fan, if you're into survival, and yeah, definitely give it a go. And can I just say as well, before you do watch it, the ending will make you laugh. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very uplifting ending that will definitely make you laugh. Why? Because it's fun. It gives you sort of adrenaline, and the song choice is hilarious. That's all I'm going to say to tease you. But yeah, so Ruth, are you a fan of the horror genre in any way?
I enjoy some.
Any ones that come to mind?
Well, you just mentioned it's not horror; it's more gore. But you mentioned the Squid Game, and I love that one. Horror, I don't know. I used to watch more when I was younger, but now I kind of avoid them because I have nightmares after, so I try not to watch.
That's totally fair enough. I'm a massive horror fan myself, so I love the genre. And what I love is, when I mention it many times to many guests who love the horror genre, is what they've done with it and how it's evolved and how it's turned. And that's what I love most about it. Like, in particular, it's just absolutely thrilling. But 28 years is good as a horror because it's very character driven. It's not a cliched, infected survival. Oh, someone dies, then they go on a trek, then someone else dies, and all this stuff. It's nothing to do with that. It's very character driven. And what I love more about horror now is you do feel more for the characters.
Wait, what was the question?
No, there was no question. I was just saying, like, that's what they do now. So I didn't know if you were going to have an opinion, because what I was saying is they're very character driven more now. They're not like very cliched, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I enjoy watching how the movie is made too. I looked up this movie when I saw that you were going to review it, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm interested in watching it because the picture is scary.
I mean, to be honest, it's not particularly that scary. There are a couple of moments. There's a bit of a disturbing scene involving, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say it involves an infected basically giving birth, which is quite shocking. But apart from that, the film's actually, like I said, very character driven. There's also a bit of humour in the film as well. Like like I said, the ending will make you laugh. And the song choice they chose was just so perfect for it. So it definitely has its moments. But yeah, I mean, I can totally understand you're not interested. That's totally fine. But here's an interesting question for you as an actor. Would you want to be in a horror film?
Oh yeah. I think the fun part of horror as an actor is the prosthetic, and I don't think it's easy to act in a horror, and I think it's challenging. So I would totally be down for that. And they say that horror usually is what you get the most when you start auditioning as an actor, and I think it's what they do more for like independent films, they're more common. Producers, directors, they usually go for that when they're small and starting and independent. So I would say that it's kind of easier to get cast in a horror. I haven't done any, but I did a student film when I was starting as an actress, and it was horror. I remember I got killed once. I had blood all over my forehead. But I think I participated like in two, and they were horror. But I haven't done more than that.
No, that's absolutely fine. Well, at least you've had a little experience of that. And plus, as you said, you got killed and there was blood all over you. So there you go. So that was bound to happen. Because the one thing I always say is you're going to be in a horror film, it's going to be a very messy job.
Yes, you have to be okay with blood and
gore,
escaping and scared face.
Perfect. Well, when you check out my work, you'll see some of the horrors that I've done, and some of them are horror comedies and stuff. So I can't wait for you to check out my work and see that later on. Right, so we're going to take another tiny little break and play some tracks because my next subject, and I want to talk to you about this very quickly, Ruth, before you have to leave at 11, is Squid Game, because it's been released now for season 3, the final one. And now, just so you know, guys, I haven't seen it yet because it's just come out. So, you know, obviously I haven't had time, but I want to talk about my expectations about it. So that's what I'm going to talk about next. So let's play another track and we'll be with you very soon. Robin Hood, archery professional, I believe that's called, or processional. That's a long word. Processional. Blah. These words are too difficult for me today. It's too early to mention long words. Anyway, you're listening to Manigan's Movie Music live on Love the Beat Radio with me, Reese Manigan, and my special guest today,
Ruth Costanzo,
who is live with me from LA. So this is, again, if you just tuned in, a huge honour to have this wonderful guest with me today. It's been amazing. Ruth, again, appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And by the way, guys, she's only going to be on the show now for literally 10 minutes because she needs to get up early. She's got some very important stuff to do. So let's try and get this quick and easy and slot it in. So the next subject we're going to be talking about is Squid Game Season 3, which is being released on Netflix. I don't know if it's been released everywhere or the UK or whatever, but I don't care. It's out now. And I will be watching it possibly this weekend when I'm not working, but I will try and squeeze in. But of course, I have to watch it with my wife because if I don't watch it with her, she'll split up with me. She'll probably kill me. So there you go. Anyway, but yes, I will be watching this weekend. So guys, if you're listening and you've seen it already, no spoilers, okay? Shut up, right? Thank you. So keep your social media stuff to a low minimum, okay? Anyway, and now I've released that out of my system. Let's jump into Squid Game expectations. Okay, sorry, Ruth's laughing online. Sorry about that. I had to, okay? I'm sorry, because there are too many idiots on social media that will just splurt out everything, okay? So I have to say something, okay? But to those who don't do it, thank you. I love you. Behave yourself. Right. Okay. right. Okay. Let's get down to it. Right. So Squid Game Season 3. Right. So expectations. Right. Can I just quickly talk about what I thought about the first and second season? So if you guys have followed my radio show when I started last September, you'll know season 1, loved it. Amazing. So glad I watched it. Everyone was talking about it. I put it on. We tried it out. We loved it. Season 2, which came out, I think, Boxing Day, just recently. Right, as I mentioned, it was very mixed with me. One reason was because some of the plots, a bit up and down, some of, like, the policeman subplot, you know, a bit wasteful, you know, stuff like that. You know, as I said, there wasn't much about it. Because the policeman, if you remember the undercover guy, he was really good in Season 1. But he felt a bit wasted in Season 2. And I'm hoping with Season 3 has an expectation that they use him more. Because if you remember at the end of Season 2, he was on a boat and I think the captain is a traitor. Because I think he killed someone, didn't he, in Season 2? He killed someone and threw his body over the board. and we realise that he's actually a bad guy. So let's hope they delve more into that. And the end of season 2, if you remember, our main protagonists finally got caught, and we knew that number 1 was the leader, and he was pretending to be the protagonist's friend. And then, of course, we knew he betrayed him. So, as we know this wrong thing, guys, if you remember in season 1, the old man was number 1, and we had that leader in number 1. There's a rule here. In Squid Game, do not trust number 1. Don't trust the number 1 player, because number 1's a traitor in both seasons. Anyway, so what are my expectations for season 3? Right, I hope that they finally get the bad guys. The bad guys get their comeuppance. They destroy them. They stop them. They put an end to this horrible nightmare. I hope that, the villains get their comeuppance. I really hope none of the important protagonists dies, like the pregnant woman, the old lady, and I really hope our main hero doesn't get killed. I really hope that doesn't happen. If it does, I will be sad, but if there's a reason how he dies, but he manages to stop the villains, then I'll be happy. I'll be like, okay, he died a hero. You never know. So, yeah, but I don't want him to die, okay? Look, he's a good character. Don't kill him off, okay? He doesn't deserve it. Expectations as well. I just hope it does conclude. There's this hope that they say, season 3's the end, and then it stops, and you're like, hang on a minute, is there a secret season 4 coming or something, or a spin-off, But yeah, I just hope it finally concludes. Anyway, Ruth, you mentioned that you like Squid Game. What are your expectations for season 3?
I agree with what you said, and I am sure I don't want to think too much about it. I just want to watch it, and I am sure that it's going to be amazing because they did a great job so far. I love season 1 probably more than season 2. I really liked season 2 too, but season 1 was mind blowing.
Oh, season 1 was amazing, but season 2, right? This is the thing. I don't hate season 2, but the problem was I was enjoying it, but more episodes went on. It got a bit more staler and staler. Do you know what I mean? But saying that, my favourite episode was the merry-go-round.
I remember the game, but I don't know what happened after.
So it was the one where they have to run into the doors. If they get locked out, they get killed.
Yes.
And it had that amazing song, that diddle-da-da-da, diddle-da-da-da. Like, do you know what's so funny? When that song was playing in that episode, I wanted to find the song so quickly, and I'm addicted to it.
I love watching it, but it's very stressful. I remember thinking, why am I watching this? When is it going to end? Because it's so stressful. But
yeah, but that's the point, because it's a game. It's a challenge.
Yeah. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me suffer, but I love it.
I think it made everyone suffer, because, trust me, I remember when it came out, it blew up, and I didn't even know what it was. And then when everyone was talking about it, I said to my wife, I was like, we need to check out this Squid Game. Everyone's talking about it. And she went, what's it about? And I went, I don't know, but we need to watch it. So because this is what me and my wife do. If someone talks about a certain show, we'll put on the first episode. And if we don't like the first episode, we don't carry on. We go, right, that was crap. We're not watching the rest. Because we believe if you don't enjoy the first episode, how are the other episodes going to get better? You just don't know. So we're like, right, if episode 1 sucks, we turn it off. But we have a habit of this. So it's like with Sex Education. We put that on. We loved it. We binge watched the entire 10 episodes unexpectedly. We actually watched the whole thing all day. With Squid Game, we did the exact same thing. We put on episode 1 and we ended up watching the whole thing on the rest of the day. Season 2, we did the same. We end up binge watching the rest for the whole Boxing Day. So yeah, but obviously we're going to watch Squid Game 3. But what I'm saying is, with Netflix, with that sort of thing, with me, it's if the first episode draws me in, I will carry on. But if the first episode doesn't, then I stop there. And I don't care what everyone else says. If I didn't enjoy the first episode, it doesn't get the next viewing. Right. I need to kind of speed this up a little bit because we haven't got long till the next ad. So, Ruth, I believe you said that you've got a new song coming out on Spotify.
Yes, it's already out, and I would just love people to go listen to it. It's about what happened in LA in February. It's very well, if you don't, I'm sure you heard about it, the wildfires.
Okay.
And very deep song that I felt that I needed to say something to the city, to LA, which I love so much since I moved here. So I think it's a very deep. The lyrics are pretty. I'm very proud of it. So I would really love people to go listen to it. It's called City of Ashes, and it's on Spotify.
Okay, guys. So you hear that? That's on Spotify. City of Ashes. Please make sure to tune into that. And now I've got to say, Ruth, it's time for us to say goodbye to you because you need to go. But listen, thank you so a million times so much for coming out to be on this show, staying up in the middle of the night, just being here, connecting with me. I've wanted to talk to you for so long. The dream's come true now. I can tick it off my list. And the fact that we've started talking to join as a radio show makes it even more special. So, again, thank you so much just for joining me.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure. And I hope to come back again to your program.
You are welcome anytime. You are welcome anytime. If you want to come on, if you want to stay up at 2 a.m. again and be on the show, by all means, be my guest. I will not have a problem with that at all. So, yeah, so honestly, thank you so much for being here tonight. Go and get your rest. Go and get your sleep. And I will be definitely sure to keep in touch with you, and we'll definitely hopefully speak again soon. But in the meantime, thank you again. Mwah. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, guys, that was Ruth. She has now had to leave the show. But, wonderful guest. And I'm very happy that she was live on LA to be on the show today. A huge honour. But listen, honestly, guys, incredible actress and singer. So definitely follow her on Instagram. It's Ruth Constanzo. And definitely check her out. Very amazing singer. Wonderful performer. I definitely recommend that you listen to her stuff. It is absolutely incredible material. So, guys, coming up next, I will be talking about some movie news that will be coming up on the show very, very soon. But first, here's a little ditty from A Fish Called Wanda.